Getting the COVID-19 vaccine, 5 tips for helping children and adults with developmental disabilities. Presented by the Center on Disability Studies at the University of Hawaii, Manoa. People with developmental disabilities may have difficulty with vaccinations for a number of reasons, including sensory needs, fear of needles, fear of medical providers, and difficulty with new situations. Here are 5 tips from the experts to help caregivers and vaccination providers make it easier for children and adults with developmental disabilities. Tip number 1. Have soothing items available before, during, and after the shot. Encourage children and adults with developmental disabilities to select items to bring with them to help them feel safe and brave. These could be things like security items, a favorite toy, or a sensory item like a stress ball or fidget spinner. Tip number 2. Create a more sensory-friendly environment. Some ways to do this are by reducing bright overhead lights, creating a private space for vaccine administration. Curtains or space partitions work well if you don't have access to a separate room. And providing sensory-based distractions, such as fidget toys, headphones for noise blocking or with music, and videos. Tip number 3. Offer choices. Offering choices is an easy way to help people feel empowered and part of the process. Offer a few simple choices throughout the visit. Some examples are, which arm should we choose? Do you want to hold a popper toy or a squishy ball? Which Band-Aid would you like me to put on afterward? Tip number 4, social stories. Social stories are a learning tool that helps people learn about what to expect in new situations. A social story about getting a COVID-19 shot might walk you through each of the steps, from arriving at the vaccination location, waiting for your turn, receiving the shot, and waiting 15 minutes afterwards. There are a number of pre-made social stories available, both as printables and videos. We have some on our resource page for you to check out. Social stories work best when a caregiver introduces the story in advance of the event. Go through the story multiple times when the individual is nervous, and also encourage them to refer to the story on their own. When you are at the vaccination visit, refer to the social story and talk through each step in the process together. Tip number 5, rewards. Rewards can be powerful incentives and can help with scary and difficult situations. To make the reward as effective as possible, talk with the individual in advance about the reward and offer them a few choices to pick from. Keep in mind that the reward doesn't need to be fancy or expensive. It can be simple, like a fun activity or a sweet treat. Remind the individual about the reward before and during the vaccination process. Make sure they get the reward immediately afterwards and praise them for being very patient and brave. Good luck! We hope these tips are helpful. Remember that receiving a vaccination can be a very scary and stressful process for people with developmental disabilities. However, with a few simple adjustments, the process can be easier for everyone. We hope this is helpful. We also have more resources on the COVID-19 vaccination on our website.
Created using Powtoon.